Quality is, as an objectification, is imperative to distinguish from quality as an assessment of value. The next thing, the quality or quality of a wine as value perception really depends on whose shoes you're standing in. So the wine industry has agreements and ideas of what constitutes quality, and then they try to match that into the market in a very, very arbitrary fashion, versus the perspective of quality then that comes from the consumer, which could be completely opposite or very different. So what happens at the end of the day is a lot of argument, a lot of contradiction, confusion, overwhelm, and an inability to communicate because we're not distinguishing how we define quality. Some people have as few as 11 taste buds per square centimeter, while others have over 1,100. And it plays a huge part in how then you experience these. And the way this manifests itself in wine is two people can actually be tasting the same exact wine at the same exact moment from the same exact bottle, and you can have two masters of wine, one saying this is the most exquisite representation of this wine in the world, it's the highest quality I could ever imagine, and the other one saying it's commercially unacceptable, it's flawed, how can you even think that? And it's all fundamentally, we're all doing the same thing, but we think our way is the best way. And we can't not think that. So this morning I showed a representation of an illusion of a spinning woman. A high majority of people are seeing her spinning one way, but a significant proportion see her going the other way. And it's just simply now looking at how different our brain function is. Now, if you were given enough time and you had a large mass of people, here's what would happen. Those who see her going clockwise would start to collect together. Those who see her going the other way would form their microculture based on the way the lady spins. Everyone's constantly trying to convince the others that the way they see it is, and you can see them in their doing, you can see it in the audience. Oh, look, no, see? And people are going like, yeah, what are you talking about? We refuse to acknowledge that the lady might be spinning differently for somebody else because it's our reality, it's our truth. And wine quality is an individual truth. Every system has a meaning to somebody. And Robert Parker stumbled on two things. He stumbled on a system for people whose taste physiology, we call them tolerant tasters. And they typically have less taste buds, which is not a bad thing. Because the other thing is we immediately jump to assumptions, oh, it's better to have more taste buds, and wine experts got to be this way. Well, in truth, the people who have the most taste buds in the US are white Zinfandel drinkers. In the UK, they're the Black Tower drinkers. They demand sweet wines because they can't tolerate this bitter, horrible taste. Parker's world is comprised mostly of men who find it very easy to relate to 100 points because there's 100 pennies in a dollar, there's 100% in the maximum of something, and based on our sensitivity, we actually have predictable behavioral traits in development from the time we're born in how we see the lady spinning. So Parker just hit the nail on the head for a very powerful, money-based, male-dominant group, and it worked. And it was easy to understand. When you're trying to ascertain minute differences that only hypersensitive people might be able to notice, it becomes chaos. More, bigger, faster, better is easy to distinguish. And the 100-point system is based on an essence of balance, high alcohol, high extract, and it's the perfect system for the people who experience the lady spinning that way, and that's why Bob Parker is so immensely successful. Now, at the other extreme, you've got Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary is a hypersensitive taster. And he's crazy in his descriptions and things. I've been in a tasting where somebody said, Gary, how would you describe the smell of this? And it was an older style Rhone wine. It's what we might call gamey. It had some Brettanomyces and so on. And Gary said, I love this. He said, have you ever hit a deer in the middle of the road and jumped out with a knife and eviscerated it and went and smelled its guts? And everybody's like, but you know what? To a lot of people, they want to hear that. They want somebody to be irreverent. They don't want the 100 points. They don't want the regimentation. They don't want that the oracle to be predictable and as powerful. So they're looking for a new Messiah. And Gary's one of the best. I love the guy. So all these arguments, all this, all crap. And the wine industry is so focused on the product and trying to convince people that the lady's spinning the way they see it spinning so that you'll buy their product. And most of them are absolutely well-intentioned, passionate, and doing the very best they can. We just don't, we as an industry are completely ignorant of what truly forms preferences, behaviors. But if we can actually better understand our sensory sensitivities and honor how we all get our memories, how we all create this mess, it would literally transform the wine industry. And that's what I do. To actually now have the capacity to try other oracles and mavens on, try them on and see if their shoe fits for you, and then go back to that source. Internet gives us all sorts of new capacities. And we don't have to argue, we don't have to destroy or downplay somebody to dominate or to avoid the domination that we feel in the threat. It's great.